Yo, what is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in this video we are going to be transforming our application front end almost completely to the one that you guys are seeing on the screen right now. So we're going to be fixing all the buttons to look much more clean. We're going to use some card components to showcase all the posts. We're going to modify the text field input to be much more cleaner, and then we're also going to be implementing this sheet right here on the right hand corner. And to do all of this, we are actually going to be using Shadcn UI. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get started with the video. So we can go here into installation, choose Next.js because that's what we're using right now, and then we can just copy this one right here to run it in the CLI. Then you can just hit enter, and let's just use the default. We'll use the slate as the base color. Sure, we can answer yes to that. And now we can navigate into our source folder. And here we can see that Shadcn UI has initialized this components folder right here. Now we can go, for example, to download this button. So we can just copy this code right here, choose npm, and then we can just npx add this button, hit enter on that. And now it's done. And now when we're here, let's just also download the card as well, because we're going to be using this. So just hit download on that on the card, and then I guess we're also going to be using, as I said, we're going to be using the sheet. So let's just copy that one right there also. And last but not least, let's also add this input bar right here. So hit download on that. And now when that's downloaded, we can just hit npm run dev to start our application in development mode. Let's just hit refresh on that. So now we are ready to start modifying our application. And basically, the first thing we're going to do, let's replace this publish button with the button that we just imported from Shadcn UI. So we can just change this to button. Let's also change that one right there. And then we can just hit save on that. And there you guys can see it changes immediately to be much more clean. Now we can just manually look for these buttons. So let's just search for a button like this. And then we can just go here as well. Let's replace the like button as well. And do the same for all these buttons here as well. So for the login button, there we go. And now we can also change this to each one of these in the nav bar as well. So let's just import that one right there. Now we just copy that. Now the home is also a button. And then we can just replace all the buttons right here in this file. So let's just do this, the button, and let's just copy paste our button component right there. And now we have an error right here because it's probably from there. Yeah, there we go. Now we have this much more clean. And we also have here in the register form one more thing to do, and it's this one right here. And there we go. Now all the buttons are implemented. And one thing we can actually also do, so let's just find our base file here, which is it's this page one right here. And let's add some styling here. So let's just set that mx is 2. So then everything here is a bit more centered and stuff like that. And now also these register and login, let's do something about them as well. So let's just find them here from the register. It's going to be this one right here. Yep, okay. So let's just wrap these links in a button. That way it's easier. So just copy that, put that in there, and do the same for this. So just add the button, move that into there. Let's clean this up a bit. There we go, and then hit save on that. And now we're basically ready to rumble. Let's also take this out of there, and then inside this feed post list, we can just state that there are the newest posts, for example. And then right here in the add feed post form, let's just wrap this in a div as well. And then we can just put a h1 tag here and add a new post. And then we can also go here into our globals file. And here we can also state that all the H1s are to be font size is going to be large, for example, and the font weight is going to be bold. There we go. I think that should look a bit more clean. And now the next thing we're going to do, let's just change these text also to be black. So let's just, if there is any with the text white, for example, right here, let's just change this to be text black. And it's actually going to be all this div. It's going to be text black. There we go. And now for our next thing, let's implement the card right here on every single one of these posts. So we can just go here into our page.tsx file, and then we can just look for the feed post list. And for each post right here, we have this div right here, which wraps around every single one of them. And we can just actually change this to be card. There we go. And let's also change this one. It's going to be card. Hit same on that. And as you guys can see, it's immediately much more cleaner. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're actually going to go back into Shadcn UI, and then we are going to select the text area, because of course this is a text area right here. It's not a input field, it's a text area field. So let's just copy that one right there and download it into our application. And once that's done, we can go and modify all the text areas right here. So let's just npm run dev on the application again. And then we can just look for the text areas. And for each of these text areas, we can just basically import the text area from our components UI. There we go. And now when we refresh the application, you guys can see that there is a new text field right here, which is much more cleaner. So we can just cleaner text field. Looks awesome. Let's publish that. And as you guys can see, everything still works. So let's just, again, change these. So this is basically the modify post form, which is going to be here in our profile. And also for these posts, we need to modify these things a little bit. So let's just fix this quickly. So this is going to be a text area right here. And then we can also implement these buttons right here and the card in this modify posts. So let's just go here into our profile view, which should be right here on the under the profile page. And then right here, we can also change the delete post button. So this right here should have the button. Change that quickly right there. So this is basically quite a lot of copy and pasting. Of course, ideally, you want to do this from the beginning of your application building process, so you don't have to do any of this copy and pasting stuff. But anyways, then we can go right here and also change this to be a card. Change it here as well, so it's going to be a card, and boom, there we go. It looks much more clean. And then here in our profile view, we can also just set the mx to be 2. So that is a bit more clean. Everything is out from the borders. And then the modify post, let's also implement a button right there. It looks a bit more cleaner like that. So just add the button and then just copy and paste this one inside of it. And let's just also change the hover effect on this delete post button. So let's just get back here. So delete post, we can go here, and then we just need to put the hover effect to be different. There we go. And let's also put this to be like a red 500. Boom, there we go. Now it's aligned with this logout button right here. And yeah, that's basically it. Now we can, of course, go here and modify the post and make sure that everything here looks clean. And let's just add the MX2 right here as well. But let's actually put it here on the page. So just class name and mx2. There we go. Looks much more cleaner. And one thing we can also do right here is to actually set the default value. So here the default value is actually going to be, we can just pass here the description, and it is also going to be a string. So description, and it's going to be a string, and then we can just set it here. It's going to be a string like that, and then we can go back right here and set the description to be, of course, equal to the post.description. There we go. Hit save on that, and now you guys can see that it preoccupies the field, and then we can just modify this again. So, and hit save on that. There you go. Everything works just fine. And now, last but not least, let's also implement the sheets right here on the right-hand side, on the upper corner. And to do that, we can just go here into our navbar. And then here, the first thing we need to do is, of course, to import all the needed components for the sheet. We can actually do some modifying right here. So we don't actually need this use state right here anymore. And this button, we actually don't need this button right here at all. So we can just delete that. And then we can just basically delete this one right here. So we don't need to check for the session anymore right here. And then we can just basically replace this with the sheet. And then this is just going to end at the sheet. So it's just going to end right there at the sheet. As you guys can see, that one disappears right there. We have to go right here and set the sheet trigger. And I'm just going to import this hamburger menu from React icons. But to do that, we actually need to shut down our application and install the React icons. Boom, there we go. And now we can just npm run dev again. And then what we can also do is we just have to wrap all this stuff within the UL inside this sheet content. So this is basically going to be like this one. Let's just hit save on that. And there we go. Now it looks much more cleaner. But now this icon is right here on the left. So let's just place it back here on the right side of the corner. And to do that, we can just move this div right here in the bottom. And there we go. Now everything looks perfect and clean. And we have this sheet right here implemented. We can log out. We can go into our profile. And all the buttons and text fields and stuff like that, they have been cleaned to look much better. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this type of content, please leave a like on the video and consider subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!